You have a presentation coming up. Maybe it's a job interview. It could be a meeting with investors. You could be a business owner about to give a training or a meeting to your team. Maybe you're a college student. Maybe you're at a wedding and you're about to give a best man speech. The reality is there's so many times in life where great public speaking and presentation skills come in handy. Communication and public speaking skills could make the difference between you acing that job interview. It could make the difference between you spreading your message to a group of people or falling short. And today we're going to talk about 4 tips to become an amazing public speaker fast. Let's get right to them. I'm Brandon Eastman with Be Better Industries, and on this YouTube channel we talk about peak performance, we talk about mindset, and we talk about achievement. Achievement towards your goals and achievement towards your dreams. So if you're into improving your life, hit the subscribe button below and be sure to hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos that we release every single Monday. And be sure to hit the like button below too. That way this video can be shown to more people who need help improving in their public speaking. I remember my first presentation. My boss called me and said, "Hey Brandon, we're doing a training with 20 new salespeople and we want one of the top guys to come out here and talk to them about what they can do in order to succeed." And I was a top salesperson at the time and I was 19 years old, so immediately, of course, I said, "Yes, that sounds amazing, sign me up, I will be there." And it wasn't until after we hung up the phone I thought to myself, wait, I'm gonna have to speak to people. I'm gonna have to stand in front of a room of 20 other human beings who are going to judge me and who are going to hope that I don't succeed. And I'm gonna have to teach them what they need to be able to do to be successful. And I started getting in my own head and I was afraid and I was worried. And I asked myself, what can I do to best prepare for this? So next month, the training came around. I drove 2.5 hours to get there. And I walked into the building and I saw the 20 people that I was gonna be talking to. And I started getting in my own head again. I started saying things like, they're not gonna want me to succeed. Who am I to teach these people what they can do to be successful? I'm 19 years old. They're all in their 30s. Some of them are in their 40s. What am I going to teach them that they don't already know? And before I went on, I had about an hour presentation. And before I went on to present the material that I had collected, I started talking to some of the guys in the break room. And they came up to me and they said, "Oh my God, you're Brandon Eastman. You're the guy that we're going to be learning from today. It's so nice to meet you." And they all introduced themselves to me. I introduced myself to them. They started asking me questions. And what happened was I realized in that moment, it was a big turning point for me. And I said to myself, wow, these people actually want to hear what I have to say to them. It instilled confidence in me. And what I did was I went and I gave my talk for the hour that I had to give it. And I remember afterwards, my bosses pulled me aside and brought me into their office. And I was like, oh great, I'm getting fired. This is the day. And they said to me, "How do you think you did?" And I said, "I think it was okay." They asked questions afterwards. I was able to talk about everything that I wanted to convey to them. And I said, "How do you think I did?" And my bosses were great people. They said, "Brandon, we thought you did a great job for your first presentation," which was essentially them saying, "You did okay, but it's better because this is the first time you've ever done it." So I was like, awesome. I impressed my bosses. I built social capital. I've helped people at the same time. This is great. And I drove home. They called me back and they said, "Brandon, we would like you to come back next month and give the same exact presentation you gave today." And I was like, oh my God, they must have loved it. So I went back the next month and I did it again. And I gave the same exact presentation and it was more polished. It sounded better. I had more confidence because I had more time to prepare. And afterwards, my bosses called me into their office again and they said, "How do you think you did this time?" And I said, "I think it was a little bit better." And my bosses looked at me, I'll never forget this, and they said, "It was a lot better this time." And we just all laughed, but it made me realize the first time you do anything, it's not going to be good. Okay, I'm sorry if that hurt you. But the first time that you speak to a group of people, you're gonna get nervous. Your hands might start to sweat. You might start to visibly sweat. You're gonna say, so you're not gonna know exactly what to say. And in this video, I wanna give you the 4 tips that you can start to do before your first talk that will make it go so much better for you. And if you're already a seasoned speaker or someone who presents all the time, then these tips are just going to help up your game. It's gonna help improve you. It's gonna help to take you to the next level. And that leads us into tip number 1 to become a better communicator and a great public speaker. And that is, we need to build the right belief system. And you're probably saying, "Brandon, I came here for tips that I can start to use, actionable things that I can do." And let me tell you, It doesn't matter what tips and what tricks that I give you until you have the right beliefs in place. And let me explain why. I told you in my story that I was nervous to go out and give my first presentation. Do you remember why I said that I was nervous? Because in my mind, I said to myself, these people aren't going to want to hear from me. What is a 19-year-old kid going to teach 30-year-old people about sales? They've probably all done this before. You see, in my head, I had the belief that people didn't want to hear from me. And I was absolutely wrong. And once I went in there early and met the people that I was going to be talking to, it obliterated that belief from my mind, and it solidified that this is something that everybody needs. There's 2 beliefs that you need to acquire before you can speak to any group of people effectively and communicate your message. And the first belief is this: people want to see you succeed, okay? People want you to do well. You see, so many times when we're in front of a group of people, because of past experiences in our life or when we were bullied or picked on, we think that people don't want to see us succeed, but that is a complete lie. I want you to think about this. Think about a time where somebody presented something to you. Maybe it was a college professor, or it could be a boss at your job or a meeting that you went to. But think about a time where someone went to the front of the room and they were about to teach you something. Were you thinking in your mind, oh, I hope this person's terrible. Oh, this person's not going to do well. You weren't thinking those things because we want the people at the front of the room. We want the presenters and the speakers to do well. We want them to do well for many reasons, one of them being we feel embarrassed if they're not doing well. So for our own comfort, we hope that people succeed, okay? But we also want them to succeed because we want them to actually help us. We want them to give us some knowledge or information that can help us to do whatever it is they're teaching us to do. So the first belief we need to ingrain in our mind, and even if you don't believe it yet, just start thinking about it more and start rationalizing it and start putting logic behind it. But people truly want you to succeed. No one is hoping that you fail. Is there judgment? There's always going to be judgment, and there's ways to mitigate that. However, people do want to see you succeed, and that's belief number 1. The second belief that we need to adopt immediately in order to become a great public speaker is you can't fail from the front of the room. You can't. You're not going to fail. It's actually impossible. If you know what you're there to talk about, and you give your talk, and you said what you had to say, and you sat down, or you left, that's it. That's all you can do. And you know what? You've gained experience. And next time you'll be even better. But it's important to realize that people want to see you succeed, and you cannot fail from the front of the room. Okay, you can't fail. Those are the 2 beliefs that once you have them ingrained in your nervous system, no matter how experienced you are or how knowledgeable you are, you will succeed from the front of the room with that belief system. And that is tip number 1. The second tip that I have for you in order to become great at public speaking is to know your outcome. Know what you're there to talk about. Know the message that you want to deliver. The outcome is quite possibly, after beliefs, is quite possibly the most important tip of all. Because if you don't know your outcome, then what are you even doing there? Think about it. What's your purpose for speaking to this group? Is it to give your college presentation? Is it to sell yourself in an interview? Is it to sell your business to the investors that you're trying to persuade to give you money? What is the outcome of the training or the presentation or the speech that you're giving? Is your outcome to educate people? Is your outcome to inspire people? Is your outcome to give them information that they need in order to perform their job? What is your outcome? This is the most important piece. What did I say at the very beginning of this video? I said, hello, today we're gonna talk about 4 tips to become a better public speaker. That's my outcome. So as long as I deliver those 4 tips to you, no matter how well I communicate them, if I communicate them better, you're more likely to take action on them. It's more likely to help you. But as long as I get those 4 tips onto this video in order to help you, then my job is done. I can't fail, and people want me to succeed. Remember the 2 beliefs. Know your outcome. And what I recommend is before you go into a presentation, remind yourself of the outcome. Ask yourself, what is my outcome in this situation? Do I want to inspire them to action? Do I want to sell myself to this room of people? Do I want to educate them on something that they have no idea about right now? Number 2 is to know your outcome. Tip number 3 is to prepare, prepare, prepare. I cannot say this enough. You want to know your material like the back of your hand. You want to know it so well that if someone just randomly on the street stopped you and asked you about this topic, you could bullet point all the information to that random passerby. Know your material. Because if you don't know your material, then it will be known to the audience that you don't know your stuff. And this is easily preventable. It's preventable because what I personally do is I have a journal that I use. Let me show you. I use this journal to outline all of my presentations. I use it to outline all of my talks. And what I do is I outline the entire talk that I want to give. And what I do is I take that entire talk and I break it down into easy to understand bullet points, because you don't want to bring a ton of note paper with you on the stage or in front of the room. It's okay to have an index card or two, but you don't want to be the guy bringing an entire book up with you, flipping to the page that you need, and continuously going back to your book to look at the next part of your talk. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be prepared. And what I do is I take that outline and I break it up into the bullet points, and I'm at the point where I don't need to bring an index card with those bullet points with me. All I need to do is keep them in my mind. However, if you're new to this, then I would recommend you write down those bullet points on an index card and keep that index card in your pocket, or if you have a lectern in front of you, keep it on the lectern. That's the tall thing that stands up where you can set things on. Or if you have a table next to you, put it on that and you can sometimes reference that, but you don't want to bring an entire book of notes. So prepare your material. There is a rule out there for presentations that says this: for every 10 minutes of a presentation, you want to practice that 10 minutes for 1 hour. Meaning if you've got 10 minutes, literally practice giving the speech out loud for an hour. That way you ingrain that information into your mind, you're ingraining it into your nervous system. The more that you look at something, the more that you practice something, the more you are committing it to muscle memory. So practice your speech or your presentation out loud. Find a friend who will listen to you. You can even practice it out loud while you're alone at home. No one's gonna judge you. Your dog doesn't care if you suck, all right? Your cat doesn't care if you're new at this, because the more that you practice, the better you're going to get. Practice in the car, practice in front of the mirror, practice to your loved ones, whatever it is that you want to do, but practice and ingrain it into your nervous system and commit it to memory, because the more you understand your material and the more you understand your bullet point outline, then the less you will ramble and the more professional and the more tactful you will seem to the group that you're presenting to. The thing is, you don't need to sound great. As long as your content is sound, that's all that matters to the group. Because remember your outcome. What are you there to do? Are you there to inspire? Then inspire. Are you there to educate? Then make sure that you've got that bullet point outline so you know exactly what you're educating that group on. But remember the 10-to-1 rule. For every 10 minutes of your speech, you practice that 10 minutes for 1 hour. And I can guarantee you that that will make you a lot more confident and a lot more ready to tackle that presentation. And the fourth tip that I have for you to become great at public speaking is to maintain great posture. Okay, have open body language. Stand up with your chest out, your head back. Feel like you're Superman, as if you were to take your hands and put them on your hips with a cape flowing from the back. Great posture will allow you to breathe freely. It will allow you to draw from more energy, and it will allow your voice to come from your diaphragm versus your nose and your nasal area. Great posture allows you to speak from here, down here, you can't see it, but from your stomach. And that's where you want to speak from, because you want your voice to be heard even while you're at the front of the room. Maybe speak a little bit louder if you know that you're a quiet talker, but maintain open body language as well. Don't put your hands in your pockets, and don't fold your arms like this, okay? That's known as closed body language. It makes the room think that you're disinterested, or that you're nervous, or that you're not ready, or that you're just like, just another talk. I don't really care about the impact that I want to have. Even if that's not how you feel, that's how the room thinks that you feel, because you're closed off to them. Your arms are crossed, your hands are in your pockets, maybe your hands are behind you, but at the same time, you don't want to be all like Kung Fu Ninja all over the place, okay? You want to have open body posture, and what I normally say is, if you're an expressive person, then do that. That is fine. The only thing that you don't want to do is constantly pace around the room. You don't want to be pacing back and forth. Imagine if I stood here the whole video and did something like this, all right, the whole time. You would go nuts. I'm standing here in place, partly because I have to stay in front of the camera, but I'm staying here in place, but I'm using my natural body language with my hands. Some people don't like the hands moving everywhere. If that's what you do, don't try to stop it. Be who you are. If you look at the greatest presenters out there, people like Simon Sinek and Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Les Brown, those guys are very expressive with their hands. Les Brown is more contemporary. Les Brown is more relaxed when he speaks, but that's his normal body language. He's not going to start exploding on stage like this, like some people do. But do what makes you comfortable. But the main point is maintain great posture. That way you can breathe. That way your voice comes from the right place, and that way it looks like you're interested to the group. And make sure that you're projecting your voice loud enough so that the whole room can hear you. Another bonus tip, I didn't mean to add this in here, but I might as well, is never turn your back to the room. You never want to turn your back to the people that you're presenting to. And sometimes that happens with a PowerPoint, or if you're writing on a flip chart and you're writing and you're turning your head to talk to people, but you're still just talking to the side versus talking at the people you're there to present to. You always want to be facing the crowd. You never want to be facing away. So tip number 4 is to have great posture, and your little bonus tip there is always be facing the crowd that you're speaking to. Now I want to know, what was your favorite tip? What's the tip that you got the most value from that you're going to start using immediately in order to present at a higher level? Go ahead and put it in the comments what your favorite tip was. If I didn't list a tip that has helped you, please throw it in the comments so it can help other people. And remember, like this video please so it gets sent to more people. If you got value, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe for all future videos every single Monday. And if you want more tips on how to live an extraordinary life, which will help you to become a greater presenter, go right in the description below and click the link. I want to send you a free ebook copy of my new book, Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. It will help you to live a better, more fulfilled life, which will translate to your work, your personal life, everything. So thanks for sticking around, and until next time, be better.